I am very happy to be joined by the new kids on the block, so I'm going to call them Witton and Jordan from Canucks Uncensored. How you guys doing today?
Awesome.
We're good, Russell. Thanks so much for having us on. This is a pleasure, and yeah, we appreciate the time.
Yeah, I appreciate your guys' time. It's awesome to have you on here today.
I feel like I'm talking to Dan Russell.
I told that man so many times I was going to steal his job.
Nice.
It's like 13 years old calling up CKNW. Hey, Dan, I've got the same name as you. I'm going to take your job one day.
Yes. Oh, man. I hope he had some quip for you back.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. He had some good sage advice, I'm sure.
Totally.
Maybe we'll get him on the stream one of the days. You never know.
I love how you got that reference. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and forth, see who can figure out each other's references as we go.
Yes, love it.
So I'm gonna give you guys the same questions I usually give everyone who's new on the stream. So let's start off with you, Witton. Witton.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Canuck of all time?
Pavel Bure. There's no player right now that's replaced him, and in my mind, that the only one that even questions it right now is Hughes, and he might actually take it over one day, but as of right now, it's still Bure. I just can't forget when I first started watching Canucks, and this guy would just be deking through entire teams and scoring goals and doing it at such a fast pace. And as a kid, that's as a kid, that's amazing to watch, right? And even when you grow older and you watch the highlights, you appreciate how good that hockey is back then. And he was dominating in that era, right? So I think that was pretty impressive.
The horrible dead puck era, and he was still managing to make it look fun.
The clutch and grab era.
The guy's doing it on like 1.5 knees. Yeah. Like, it is crazy.
Yeah.
So Jordan, who would you say ends up being your favorite Canuck of all time?
Well, I wanted to give a different answer to Wit, but I couldn't. I can't. He is. I mean, there's a lot at the top. There's a lot. There's a lot of them at the top, and a lot of them that could be my favorite of all time. But it's undoubtedly it's Bure. He was the first Canuck that ever got you excited about being a Vancouver Canucks fan.
Yeah,
the most exciting player ever to wear this jersey. The like Whit was saying, the feats that he was able to accomplish, the things he was able to do in that era back in the day, like he could even play today. If he was Bure at his prime, could probably keep up today. He was that fast.
How many goals do you think he scores? If he plays today, how many goals does he score?
Okay, and maybe he's not as prolific of a scorer because they're all keeping up with him now. But back in the day when he was just a step above everyone else on the ice.
Don't forget dead puck era, and there was still the dreaded 2-line pass rule. Bullshit like that.
Yes. Yes, there was there was a lot working against him back then, and he still was able to persevere, beat out guys. Not only was he speedy and skilled, he was a tough mofo too.
Yeah.
He was against the other team's top defensive guys, taking a beating every night. But he persevered, scoring 60 goals 2 seasons, going through all of that. Like, there's no one better.
How long do you think he gets suspended for the elbow nowadays?
Dude, he's electrifying. He's got his own people's elbow. This guy, man. Show him how it's done.
Exactly.
So did you guys have like a stepbrothers moment where you're like, who's your favorite Canuck of all time? And you're both like, Pavel Bure. He's like, did we just become best friends? Yup.
Well, that's funny. No one's ever asked us that. I didn't know that we had the same answer.
Oh, bringing your friendship even closer. I like it.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. Yes.
So then, Witton, what would you say is your favorite Canuck moment then, if you had to pick? I mean, there's a whole bunch, but if you had to choose one moment in Canucks history,
Who are you asking?
Witton.
Oh, Witton. Oh, sorry, Russell. Before we go, how does your channel feel about us cussing and stuff?
You do whatever you want, brother.
Okay, cool.
Favorite moment? I have so many, but gotta be Slay the Dragon. Maybe I'm taking his answer, but man, that day I was super sick and I was literally bedridden. I had no energy. I watched the game. I couldn't get out of bed. I watched the game. That's all I did. I didn't even eat dinner. like the fever. I was whatever. Burrows scored that goal. I forgot I was sick. I ran up the stairs. I was screaming. I was like telling my grandma, "Hey, we slayed the dragon." I went back downstairs and then I stood on my bed and I started cheering. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling really tired." I passed out.
Expelled all energy.
That was all the energy I had. I slept until the next day. I'm not even kidding you, man. I'm not even kidding you. This is crazy. No alarm clock. Luckily, I didn't have work early in the morning.
Yeah.
But
well, it's funny because everyone who says that's their favorite moment, I have to remind everyone, and my stream will get sick of me saying this. I was actually lucky enough to be at that game.
Okay,
and the thing was, everyone forgets about the fact that the Canucks were up 3-0 in that series.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with Game 7 tickets, and they've now going to Game 7 after being up 3-0. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go. Right? Like,
my goodness, that's
right.
Awesome.
Like, you might witness the greatest collapse in the history of the franchise. Right. And then,
did you hear Luongo? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
And then Burrow scores, and I cheered so hard and so loud that I literally blacked out and passed out into my seat at Rogers Arena. And the next thing I knew, I was looking at the roof, and I was like, "Is it a dream? Was it real?" It was real.
You know what? I do recall you saying this. I think I watched you on one of your streams or something, and you were talking about this exact same thing. So you have talked about this a lot.
I can't stop talking about it.
That's an amazing moment, though, man. That's awesome that you got to experience that.
You were saying something about Luongo?
Oh, did you hear him on Spin Chicklets recently?
No.
Oh yeah, listen to his interview with Spin Chicklets. He talks about the whole finals. He really reflects, and you can you can tell he knew the answer was the question was coming. Yeah. So he had a whole spiel ready.
Yeah.
But I think they didn't really want to ask him how he felt.
Yeah.
I think it still hurts. But he was talking about the whole Burrows thing, and he described it pretty much the way you did.
Yeah.
I actually got pretty scared when Taves said in the interview when we're up 3-0, it's like we're gonna expose them for who they are.
Ooh,
we're talking about I'm not even shitting you. And then I was like, what is this guy talking about? And then we get blown out those 2 games, and then we lose a close one, and then all of a sudden it's 3-3. Right. And then people are saying to me, are they really that bad, or is sports rigged? And they're just trying to get it to go to Game 7. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. It's 3-3. Let's just win Game 7.
I never thought about it that way, man.
People were saying it to me. I'm not even joking you. I don't know if you heard it before, but
I'd never heard that. But I can see people saying that.
Did Taves actually say we're going to expose them?
Yeah, we're going to expose them for who they are.
Wow.
Do you remember hearing that?
No, I don't remember hearing that, but I absolutely would believe that Taves would say that.
Yeah,
we need to splice that in now.
Yeah, let's splice that in. We're going to find that YouTube clip. I'm telling you.
Jordan, if you had to pick your favorite moment in Canucks history.
Oh, there's so many, man. I mean, it's so hard. And you know what? Wait, again, you stole my thunder again. That's my first answer. We have one of our reels on our Instagram page about that. And, there's no slaying the dragon is that goes down in history as one of the most exciting moments of the Vancouver Canucks history, no doubt.
Yeah.
But okay, we're not going to choose that one because we chose that one. I will always remember Matt Cook scoring to tie the game against Calgary in Game 7, even though they lost. Okay, it's a sad series to reflect on because they did lose. But that moment when Cook scored with 19 seconds left or whatever it was, I lost my shit. I was.
Wasn't that a shorthanded goal?
It was. The greatest thing you see is Jovo celebrating in the box after.
Yeah, just hopping like a child, right?
Yeah. It was that.
Yes, he is going absolute balls deep.
Yeah,
he's going crazy. I remember I was in grade 12 that year, 2004. I was watching in my basement, and when Cook scored, I ran outside to the front door and just screamed, "Yeah!" Top of my lungs. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, great moment.
Yeah.
Great.
Too bad they didn't win. Sons of bitches.
Yeah. Well,
freaking ex-Canuck had to score on that.
I know, that's how it ended for the Canucks, right?
Fucking Flames connection.
And I will always say, yes, I know. It's always a former guy that bites us in the ass. I will say Johan Hedberg needed to finish that series as the Alex Ald. I don't know. They believed in him too much too early.
Yep.
So, boys, let's talk a little bit about the Canucks Uncensored brand. What have brought you guys in your Canucks fandom to this point where you've decided to start broadcasting it to the world?
Well, Wid, do you want to answer? Or do you?
I think we're gonna keep the order. Then maybe I should.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think I've always been wanting to do something like this, just to share to the world like my thoughts, because I think with the people that I know, they'd always call or ask me anything Canuck related. Hey, hockey pools, or hey, who should I bet on tonight, or whatever. I'm like, hey, hey, don't quote me on this. Like, don't come after me if you don't win or whatever. But like, like people would ask for that, and I just thought having knowledge where people would ask you, maybe more people could benefit from it. So I've been always wanting to do this, and found Jordan, somebody that has same passion for hockey, for Canucks specifically, and then finally did something.
So how long have you guys known each other?
So do you hear a tap water running in the background?
Oh, a little bit. It's not too bad though.
Oh, okay, cool. We've known each other since
before COVID, right? So that's
before COVID. So we've actually known each other for a while.
I think maybe like 8 years, 2016, maybe
something like that.
Yeah,
something like that. But we hadn't really talked too much about Canucks until more recently.
Yeah.
For me, it was I've always like Wit. YouTube and streaming is a way for our voice to be heard. And I think that's what most people who go onto social media or do YouTube, that's what they want, right? And that's what it's an outlet, basically. It's something that we want to have a voice about, that you're passionate about. I have a lot of passion for the Vancouver Canucks. I might not know as much the little details or the detailed details about what's going on, but I just love watching hockey, and this is something that I love to do. So something I love to talk about. I'm borderline obsessed with the Canucks, and it's just what I like to talk about. And here's a way to share that love and share that passion. I've always wanted a chance to. I've seen YouTubers like yourself, talk about the Canucks and basically maybe not making a living, but sharing their passion online and with whoever it resonates with, you can interact with. So this is just a way to do that. And I found Witton, who was willing to do it with me and willing to put himself out there. And here we are.
Building a beautiful friendship here, isn't it?
Well,
So what's been the hardest part so far of your venture into the Canucks content creation world, Wit?
The hardest part?
Yeah.
Every time I record a stream, I always think about, is this the right content? Oh, am I too harsh, or am I too positive? Because I think it can swing either way of how you can get a negative reaction. So I always just thought about that a little bit when I do things. But I think the best is like when you speak with emotion and you stick to your facts and your thoughts. I think that's the best outcome, regardless if people agree or disagree with you. And that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see when a trade breaks. I just want to see the analysis. I don't even care if I'm for or against it. I just want to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest challenge, was thinking about those things.
Jordan, what's been the most rewarding thing for you so far?
Oh, rewarding.
There you go.
Oh, well, I think it's just being able to. Well, it has to do with why we're called the Canucks Uncensored. I just want to be able to just talk about the Canucks and say what I want to say, and not be, judged, or not be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if it's judged, but just have unfiltered thoughts and just say whatever I want about my favorite team. That's been most rewarding. And hey, looking at people interacting with us with our comments and liking, and just having people interact with us with what we love to talk about. That's easily what's most rewarding.
Yeah, we love that. In the short time we've been doing this, that's very rewarding.
I think that's mostly the point where we wanted to do this as well. We just wanted to have, we're not saying our name is Canucks Uncensored. We're not saying that everyone is censored. We're not saying that everyone out there is, being too safe or whatnot. This is how we like to broadcast our thoughts about the Canucks. We just want to say, hey, this is what we think, this is what we feel, this is what we're going to say.
Yeah, it's actually funny because my day job as a bartender, I had one of my guests come in talk about, and he's like, I'm sick and tired of getting the same old thing from Sportsnet and even from YouTube and all this stuff. It's just people who are in suits, like all stuck up, speaking in their proper like words and stuff. It's like, no, I want to hear someone drop an F-bomb every once in a while when they're talking about the team. I wanted to be like hanging out with the boys, chatting about the game, right? So that's what we do. Yes. And that's what you guys are doing.
Well, that's why, you know, Spit and Chicklets took off. Yeah. They're real, right? Oh. But yeah, exactly. We that's exactly what we want to hear.
Oh. So where can the people find you?
We're right now on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and also X. Cool. We're trying to do as much as we can on each platform. But yeah, you'll find us on any of those.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks, boys, very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join the show. And I'll make sure that I got all of the links down in the descriptions for everyone to find you. And any last words for the stream before I let you go for the night?
Do you have any last words, Whit?
Go Canucks, go.
I do just want to say thanks, Russell, again. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the thanks for the time and featuring us. We really appreciate it. We will definitely give you your love as well to your channel. You're doing great things. But yeah, the last thing I just want to say is Lankinen should go into net next game.
Nothing is perfect.